everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I am working with watercolors and watercolor paper, and I want to just do some small landscapes. But again, I'm just practicing really with the colors and mark making. So I'm going to be using these watercolor paints that I got a few years ago and some Faber-Castell colored pencils, and that's all I'm using today. What I want to do is lay down the color with the watercolor and then add in some mark making for the details. But the goal isn't to draw exactly what I see, it's just to sort of get the feeling of what I see. All these photo references will be up on my Patreon. I'll leave a link where you can grab them, but we are going to jump in and get started, and I hope you join. The first one is a landscape with a bit of a mountain view and lots of clouds, and we are going to see what we can do. What I really like about this is how linear the lines are. I feel like I'm never going to say anything's easy because honestly nothing's easy, but I'm going to lay the colors down first, and then I'm going to use my colored pencils to add texture. So the first seems like a yellowish green color. And so I'm just taking my watercolors and just mixing sort of a yellowish green color there. Just yellow and green together and seeing what I can do. And this is, I don't want to have my paper too wet. But I know there's like a line here of the green. Okay, so I added a little green. I want like a brownish, greenish color. So I'm just mixing a little bit of brown, green, and yellow together. Now I'm just playing around. This is nothing serious. It's just playing with your art supplies. And these are just like little dark spots. And then there's an actual reddish brown color. So I'm going to see what I could do there. It's like mixing a little bit of red and brown together. And that goes kind of, I'm not going to be able to get everything in there. I can see that now. And then I might just add a little red. I'm just doing whatever I feel like when it comes to this landscape, because I'm going to add colored pencil on top. And that's Bear. I don't know if you could hear him, but I love all these colors and I love how sort of linear it is. And then there's these mountains and a really blue sky. So I'm going to, I don't have enough room for all the mountains. So I'm mixing a bit of brown and blue together. Mountains sort of come in and it looks a little green, but that's okay. I'll grab a little bit of black and a little bit of blue and kind of go on top of it. I'm really just working on this linear, like I just love the lines of this landscape and I'm just trying to catch the colors of it. I'm actually really liking how this is turning out and how these colors are sort of blending in together. Then there's all these clouds and blue. So what I think I'm going to do, I know I can leave some white space, but I'm going to start with like a lighter blue. I guess it wasn't too light. And I'm just going to kind of do something like that. And then I'm going to go in with a watered down. And maybe I'll just add some water to it. It's all about playing around and seeing what happens. I'm not really huge into watercolor, but there's actually some clouds here, but I'm just going to do that for now. But I do want to create some lines with the colored pencils. I actually really like all these colors together because there's bits of green here. Oh, I like that color. But I really like the yellow. There was a little bit of yellow above the red there. Okay, I'm kind of enjoying how this is looking now. I want to do a little bit of scratchy mark making. Hopefully I won't overdo it, but I'm going to use my colored pencils for that. I'm trying to limit my art supplies, and if you watched yesterday's video, all I did was draw with colored pencils, and today I thought, well, I want to do some landscapes. Let's see if I could just put the color down first with watercolor and then the colored pencils for my scratchy little details. And I'm not big on drawing exactly what I see. I'm just big on being inspired by a photo and the colors. So yesterday when I was using my colored pencils, I kind of fell in love with these orange colors. Oh, this one's broken, so I'll just use this one. I kind of fell in love with this, and I feel like I could put some lines right here. So I think I'm just going to I'm going to move this aside here and use the side of my pencil and just do a little bit of mark making because there's a lot of sort of, I don't know, dried plants in the front. Maybe they're not dried, I don't know what it is, but I really like this color and I like the way it looks. So let's see what we can do. Every day is just a little bit of play in the sketchbook and not worrying about if you mess it up or not. And I think it would be fun if I did add markers where I can add like some little lines and stuff, but I'm not going to get them all out because this was just for fun. But I just want to see what it would be like if I just made a few little marks on here. I'm just playing and exploring in my sketchbook. I like the watercolor and I like the mark making. I'm wondering if I could use different tools for the mark making other than colored pencils that would be just as beneficial. But for now, I'm going to stick to what I'm doing and I'm going to do another one and see what I can come up with. Okay, so the next one is going to be a beach scene. And I'm going to start with some blue, and I'm just going to grab a couple of different blues, and I'm keeping quite a bit of water on here, and I'm just going to have it darker here and maybe add a little water as I come down to make it lighter. I'm not worried about any dry spots. I like that. And then I'm going to make it just a little bit darker at the top. There are some areas of darkness here though, but I don't want to do too much. I've got all the pets in here today. I've got my dog, 2 cats, greenery right here. It's a little bit darker than this. Let's see. Might add a little brown to it, a little yellow. And yeah, it's like a darker green. And then there's this really nice blue. I have different kinds of watercolor. I also have this one here that I might try. Maybe there's some more color options for me. Bear is really making himself known today. Okay, I'm not sure. This might be a good color. Let's see. It's not what I'm looking for. I think I'm adding more water to it. Okay, well, let's see what happens. This is supposed to be the sky, but it's kind of blending in with the beach. Okay, and then the beach part here is like a nice sandy brown. I really do think I like these Lang watercolors the best. I really like these. I just like the selection. I got these a few years ago, probably 2.5 years ago. I don't use watercolor often, but when I do, I actually really like that brand. Got it on Amazon. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going to grab like a sandy color. It's like a yellowy color sand. And I'm just going to, The water's sort of coming in, so we're going to have to work with that as well because the water's coming in. There's people on this beach too. I know I'm probably making a lot of mistakes, mainly because I don't really use watercolor. I'm wondering if I even have the paper wrong. Now I could tape this paper down, but I can't find my tape. Oops. There we go. It's all about the play. Let's let this dry and then see what we can do. I decided to skip the colored pencils. It just wasn't going as planned and use my Kuretake. And I really actually like, after playing around with it, how this came out. I do want to add some people. It's just teeny tiny little people on the beach. But also this Kuretake has white. And normally, yes, I know we don't use white watercolor, but this is kind of like a gouache. Now I had accidentally mixed some pink in with red in with it. So it looks a little pinkish, but I still think it creates a look similar to what you would see like a beach scenery. And that's what it's all about, just playing, and seeing what works together and what doesn't. Now the colored pencil just wasn't, none of the brands were working for me. I would say out of all of them, the Artex seemed to go on this wet paper, even though I tried to dry it. I guess I'm just impatient. I might try one more and then come back and try to add details to the two that I've done. Let's see. Let's do one more. One is a landscape. It's a photo I took, and it's a lot of greenery with a little bit of sky. And I am really just trying to lay down some color and play with all of it. I'm still just learning my watercolor. So I'm just adding some water. And I'm literally just, this is the Kuretake. Kind of like the colors in the Kuretake, and I like that the pans are big enough for me to sort of see what colors I've got versus the teeny tiny ones. And there's a little bit of orange happening. Really pretty sunset. Let's see, can I grab a little bit? It's like a yellowy orange. There we go. And it's kind of going like this. And I'm just going to bring it down right into the greenery. And then the clouds are this beautiful bluish color. And the clouds are just sort of coming down. It's like land on the other side because there's water there. We'll just put, for now, we'll put this like this. Add a little bit of blue here. Now this is funny because this is the Kuretake, and you can see I'm layering on top of the yellow, and it just goes right on top, pretty opaque. It's bleeding into the black, but that's fine. It's interesting to see how these colors lay on. It's kind of like a gouache, really. There's some dark green over here. The Kuretake too picks up a lot of color. Like it is opaque, and then there's just a lot of color that gets picked up when on your brush. I wonder, I have paper towel too. I know I can probably dab some of this off if I wanted to. Ooh, I kind of like that effect. Especially if this is going to be the bottom part of your drawing and not so much, you know, I'm not trying to do like a watercolor. I'm just trying to do mark making, but I wanted to lay my colors down with the paint. I'm thinking the Kuretake would be great for this because then you could lift it up, wait for it to dry, and then do your colored pencil on top. Love all the marks in here from lifting it off. And I know if I let this dry, I can add stuff on top of it and make this my own. are my final artworks. What I came to discover today and that I can confirm is that I am most definitely a mixed media artist. As much as I tried to stick to just watercolor and colored pencil, I just had to grab a few other things because there's nothing I love more in an artwork than texture. And because the colored pencil wasn't working on the paper for me, probably because it was dry or maybe it's the type of paper, it just didn't have that texture that I love to see in my artwork and those messy lines and just all of it. So I added, for the water on this beach scene, I added my white Posca marker to create some water. I also added these Faber-Castell gelatos or crayons, and this one is coconut, but it adds a nice texture to the sky. You also, I think you saw me, you could rub it with your hand, and it also comes with these Faber-Castell crayons come with these little, I don't know what you call them, tools to sort of like blend things in. And I don't usually use them, but it worked really nice for blending. So once I added my art supplies, including the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 1s and 2s, I really like, the 1s are soluble, but if you like texture the way I do, the 2s are fantastic, especially that gold. It worked so well for the grass. I am really happy with how these turned out, and I really wanted to stick to just watercolor and colored pencils, but that just didn't work out today. These photo references will be available on my Patreon. You just join for free and you'll be able to access them. I'll leave a link in the description of this video where you can grab them. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any tips, leave them below. I know there's got to be some tips to make this easier. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy sketching.